The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Kagos Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guests, and participants. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and/or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LGA Broadcasting.
I got the windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas. I'll drink a gallon of Joe just to make it back home and hold you in my arms at last. There's a full moon shining, lighting up the highway like a beacon of you. If I can make it on time, past a moonlit state lamp, roll a diesel right on through. Well, my lids are heavy, there's a blue and white Chevy, and it seems he's right on my heels. And I'm leaning in the bar stool, I can't drive this slow, yeah, you know how it feels. But the road is made for the big and brave, and may the fellow with the best rig win. I'll grab the long, hard road and the highway patrol to hold you in my arms.
Are you ready? What you are about to experience is real. Right along with us. From deep in the desert of Nevada, the Glenn Larry Show. From deep in the desert of Nevada, broadcasting to the world, it's the Glenn Larry Show. Broadcasting to the world.
And that we are, everybody. I'm Glenn Larry. Welcome tonight, everybody. What I bid you all welcome for wherever you are at, our time zone, what have you. And we do want to thank you so very much for tuning in tonight. It is July. Oh, yeah, we're just happening. July 4th coming up. Going to be a lot of celebrations everywhere. Be safe. Fireworks, be safe. Fire. In these places out in the desert and the rural areas where it is real dry, be very, very careful with fireworks, please. Just a note from me. Kagos Radio, K6RCL in good old Goleta, California. I bid you hello there, Dennis, and all the night drivers, all radio affiliates, small broadcasting, FM, AM stations out there. All you YouTube people out there, Facebook and friends, like and subscribe, please. Ring that bell. We do appreciate you for that. Yes. All the podcasters out there, all over the world, and carrying this broadcast, we do appreciate you for that. We thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is Glenn Larry, and tonight's open lines, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. What do you think? This is pretty crazy. Alligator Alcatraz. What do you think about that? That's quite an interesting concept. You're not getting off that island, that whole thing with the alligators and the snakes and everything else out there. I mean, for real, it's pretty crazy stuff going on. We'll be back right after this.
There's no typical meth user. I was from an upper middle class family. Meth is terribly addictive. My first time using it, I was hooked. There was no turning back. I lost my job. I was homeless. I never thought I'd see my family again. I have a great fear of meth because it took so much of me. I mean, it took everything. Meth took over my soul.
Visit our website at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
You ignore the signs, so you enable.
You don't want to sound like a hypocrite, so you enable.
You don't want to alienate your child, so you enable.
But if you think they're trying drugs, you shouldn't be afraid.
You are the parent.
So you are able.
You are strong.
So you are able. There are others just like you.
So you are able.
And we can help. So you are able.
Get help at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
It was quite warm yesterday, but we had overcast and high winds. Of course, you probably read about that, about Las Vegas. How much did they have suffer over there with all their the damage of the wind? Many telephone poles fell over, electricity was out, and it's pretty crazy. And we get these flash floods down here very badly, and it really does affect this town because it wasn't built for that in the desert. And water's got to go somewhere, of course. And my gosh, pretty crazy stuff. Our whole town was out for 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours. And generators are running around the neighborhood, what have you. A little emergency going on. We had some radios happening up here, but we couldn't broadcast. Thank God we're on live tonight. This is the way it is. When power goes out, you've got nothing. Have you really planned for power outage in your area? Do you have a bug out kit? Do you have a kit? Do you have a safety kit at home? Maybe a transistor radio, hopefully for AM news. No lights, no electricity. You got batteries and extra batteries for your flashlights. Sources to make electricity somehow or cook something. Extra water supplies. It's all out there, folks. You got to prepare. I was prepared. I had extra water and all sorts of stuff. And flashlights and what have you, radios, and also walkie-talkies. I gave out, 20-something radios, walkie-talkies, in this little small village, this little small town of Good Springs. And, when the cells go down, phones go out, hey, I've fallen down, can anybody get me? It's my address, who it is, and somebody's going to respond. Mine's on 24 hours a day, and I got 2 locations to hear something go on. And other people have theirs on also, and I have to also check on them, make sure they have their radios on, because a lot of them did not. When I did the radio check last night, we didn't have a lot listening, but apparently if something does go down, they're going to grab that radio, and it's Channel 5, by the way, and it covers this whole town, which is great. It's just another way to get help if they need it. When the cell towers are down, you can't get out. When your phone landlines are down, which I don't use anymore. They're the worst up here. CenturyLink was the worst for me. Yes, for me and for others. So I just canceled that account. We got rid of that. And we're now on, of course, computer lines. And again, you're subject to Wi-Fi, and what you get's what you get. Yeah. But at least we can get help. And I hope in your area, in your towns or what have you, neighbors can look after neighbors just in case. Because when it comes down to it and there's nothing, what are you going to do? A lot of people are going to starve. A lot of bad things may happen. You never know. You've got to be prepared what to do. Very, very important. And I think a lot of people just kind of blow it off, But I sat there last night and I thought to myself, if we were out for a month, they say 2.5 weeks being out of electricity, you're going to have a lot of crime, a lot of physical, a lot of people flipping out, a lot of things going wrong around the country. It's chaos. And so we don't need that. So try to really prepare and think about it. Maybe you have to experience a power outage for a while to think, oh my goodness. Yeah, well, hopefully don't be caught with your pants down. Pull them up, whatever. It's an in thing for some of these kids these days. I don't get it either. Anyway, okay. We're going to have open lines, and we're going to talk about everything. Low on the politics, please. Really low on that. We don't get involved in that. And keep it clean. One caller, please, per call. One person per call. And use, if you can, critical thinking. Really. What you're talking about. Make some notes if you want to. And you don't have to give a real name. No, you don't. You just call in and who you may be. July 4th, yes, coming around the corner. A lot of people traveling. Gas prices are a little bit up. They're up and down, and hopefully that's going to change. A lot of promises from the White House. A lot of promises. And very much a lot of promises. And I hope some of that stuff happens. I could sure use a bump in Social Security. I could sure use lower gas prices. I could surely use a lot of lower prices for buying food. All of us can. We all have to sit back and budget these days, and it's very, very, very important. I'm on a fixed income myself, and I do my hobby in radio, and I spend money in certain areas where I spend money at, and this is one of them. I hear what you're getting, and it's been a lot of work and a lot of ups and downs, as my folks out there know. In the radio world, it never is perfect. Anything can happen at any time. I'm just getting a buzz out of the board here. I go, oh, that's great. We're looking at that one. There's always surprises. About ghosts, by the way, I had a little visitor at my home, and some objects were moved around. When I know I put something somewhere, I know it's there for a reason to go get it and go back to it and search things. No, I don't leave that area with a certain item. And it was moved, not even in a place that I would go. But when I got into that room, there it was sitting there. Now, I assure you, I did not move what was moved. Yeah. And you start thinking, well, I did that. No, someone's trying to get your attention for something, So what ghost stories do you have for me tonight? What weird things have been happening to you lately? I have Ken down there in Florida. They're seeing more crocodiles and what have you. And again, what do you think about this Alcatraz? Alligator Alcatraz. What do you think about that? Now, what I saw was, a bullpen type of situation with beds in it. Many beds. And I didn't see any bathroom facilities. Places in a normal jail, you have a toilet and a place to sit, and that's where you lay. That's it. And of course, these people are, I guess, just in transit, maybe. But still, I didn't see any bathrooms. Maybe you can enlighten me on that, folks. And any news you have about that new place, Alcatraz. They like talk about opening the other Alcatraz, but now Disney World wants that, or somebody wants it. I don't know. But, yeah. I still give tours out there. Incredible. Place is haunted, of course. Why wouldn't it be? The worst were there, and some of the non-worst were there, and some got out of there. They said that 3 escaped, excuse me, and the 2, they were never found, but the one was apparently. So, and I heard that the president said no one ever escaped from there. Yeah, I think so. Forgot that one, huh? Yeah, you got to do some research. But anyway, yeah, I was just watching a thing the other night that these guys are probably in Canada somewhere, some far, far away, and living normal lives. Or if they're still alive. That's a long time ago when this happened. But, yeah, a lot of things happening. What do you think about that New York situation going on? The mayor running for New York. Yeah, mayor. They say he's a communist or whatever. Whatever he may be, New York needs a lot of help. They need to get their stuff together over there. I think taking the police away is not the answer. No. Need law enforcement. Need law and order is what you need. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff out there, folks. We can touch lightly on that. I don't think I'm overdoing my bounds. Hope not. And also the new UFO sightings that's been happening out of Texas, over military bases, by the way. Many have been seen, and it's kind of settled down for a while, I understand, and the reports have not been so excessive to the point where, oh, it's happening now. No, they're just kind of they're like 2 or 3 weeks delayed till the stuff comes in. And I know that the Report Center has some new stuff, so you can always look that up online and MUFON too. And if you ever see something, report it. Take a picture of it. Do what you can. Document it. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go to open lines. Let's see who we have here. You're on the air. And what's your name and where you're from, please? Hello.
Well, this is Old Man Liver from Good Springs, Nevada.
Well,
how are you?
Fantastic. My gosh. Folks, I was telling you about the Pioneer Saloon earlier. Yes, and this is Old Man Liver. And I'm glad that you called up tonight, sir. We've been thinking about you. We've been thinking about you here. We always talk about the beautiful Pioneer.
Oh, thanks.
I've got. I deeply got to ask you. I do have to ask you this, Old Man Liver. You've got your own whiskey, the whole bit. Can you tell me about that whiskey? People are asking me, how's it made? Blah blah. How's it from? Please enlighten me and my audience, if you would, please, sir. Give it to me.
That's very sweet, and I appreciate the, helping me market my whiskey. So the whole thing started in 2020 when my old lady was like, "You got to have, you need your own whiskey. Old Man Liver needs his own whiskey."
Yeah.
So I'm like, she knows I love whiskey, and she's like, "Give me 3 months. I'll find a distillery to work with you and get you exactly the flavor profile you like and the proof and so on and so forth." So I was like, "What, is it crazy? What are you talking about?" So seriously, within 3 months, he did it. We find a company called Sea Trees out of Fletcher, North Carolina, and they literally worked with us for about a year to get the exact flavor profile, which in my case, I love oaky, smoky, and a little spicy.
Oh, yeah.
And then I wanted it 90 proof instead of 80 proof, so I could say you'll get more bang for your buck than Jim or Jack. And to me, we got at first the proof was 80 proof, and I said, "Can you get it to 90 without it being painful?" And because I don't want it, harshly going down when it's too smooth.
Yeah, like blow your throat out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And and amazingly, we pulled it all off, and it all worked out, and we just made something that we would like. And then we're like, if anybody else likes it, great. And now we're in California, Nevada, Florida, North Carolina, and New York. And then people can order it online in most of the states in the country. But then, thanks for asking that.
Yeah. And
how are you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic. We had a power outage last night for 6.5 hours. I think.
We had to close the Pioneer Saloon early last night.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
Shucks,
But,
this is my drinking time. You're taking it away from me. I'm just kidding.
I know. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm taking away my own drinking time. It's messed up, but the wind was so bad.
Oh, I know.
That it got dangerous. We couldn't even use the grill, and of course, nobody's trekking out on a motorcycle in that kind of weather.
Right.
So we had to, and then no electricity, so we had to, by law, we had to close up. But thankfully, it came back on. The electricity came back on before any of the food went bad. So
that's the key. I was thinking, how are they going to keep this stuff go? I mean, it's all freezing.
That's the problem. We've had it before where if the electricity's out, a certain amount of time, you got to throw it all out. And painful to throw away thousands of dollars of food, but you got to do the right thing. You don't want to ever get anybody sick.
No, you don't.
But so we lucked out last night. But we don't normally have this kind of crazy windstorm. So
you're also a fantastic guitar player, and you've been in different bands you've been in Los Angeles, what have you. Can you tell me more about yourself as a guitar entertainer and the performer, sir?
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. So it is very. I love Larry. I love it when you're out there in the audience when I'm playing. I feel better seeing you out there because you're so supportive and you're rooting me on, and it just gives me a little comfort. I just want to tell you that. But so I played in a band called Early Dawn for like 3 decades now.
Yeah, they're good.
And that's not an exaggeration because I'm old. That's the name, Old Man Liver. And so, but back in the day, we were distributed by Warner Brothers, and we had record deals. We would tour. We did the whole shebang. We had a couple like little mini hits that we made a little bit of money from with movie and TV soundtracks and things like that.
Right.
And we're still together, and we still play occasionally, but it's more just writing new songs and publishing rights and those kind of things. And then I started my own separate side project called the Old Man Liver. It was originally the Old Man Liver Band. Now it's Old Man Liver and the Fluffers, which has some of our friends from the town playing along, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we did, but it was nice. We did a breast cancer benefit just a couple weeks ago. We've done for 26 years called Breast Fest, and my singer James drove up from LA, and we did a little acoustic gig playing original Early Dawn songs. So that was kind of fun. So people can go to earlydawnmusic.com if you want to check it out. We're on all the, Apple Musics and Spotify's and Amazon's and all that good stuff. But it's been fun. I grew up in Louisiana doing blues and jazz and rock and country bands, and then I moved to LA to start an original band, which I did, and then it's been about 20 years based in Los Angeles, and now I'm based right next door to you.
And fantastic as it is.
Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks.
And the weirdest
So it's
thing,
a lot of fun.
and we had the haunted houses here, you and I.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we're as haunted as it gets. And it was funny. I was doing a podcast yesterday, and I mentioned you and Dagos Radio, and
Thank you.
Of course, it was really interesting, and they were asking. It was all about ghosts and aliens, and I'm like, this is Larry Glenn Anderson's podcast.
Right.
Perfect. Like,
Yeah.
You guys got to hook up, and I was telling him about you and how you told me the guy that bought my house just couldn't take it anymore. It was so haunted that he was like done with it.
He went out. He went out there and painted the house. Everything. I go, this is great, man. Great job. He goes, yeah, I'm going. I go, well, you're going. Yeah, I go, I'm done.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we knew each other, but I didn't have a chance to talk to you, get advice before I bought the house.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't change it anyway because I like haunted houses. But
Yeah, I got a friendly ghost.
Oh yeah, exactly. We got friendly ghosts. There's there's a little negativity going on. There's some energy there that I don't know if it's coming from the mine shaft or whatever, but for folks that are listening, like Larry's pointed out, like sometimes he has some paranormal activity going on.
Like things moving around. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like not from his house, but coming from my house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, great.
No, I'll see somebody walk, and I know there's nobody there, and I'll look out the kitchen window, and I'm going, I just saw somebody walk past that window.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going because you leave a light in. You leave a light on in there all the time. So I said to myself, okay, there's something going on.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, and people will talk about cowboys standing outside our bedroom windows and looking in on us sleeping and weird stuff, and then Stephanie's talked about smelling like cigarette smoke and stuff like that, and like, okay, this is weird. We know no one else is in the house or on the property, but we're smelling cigarette smoke, and then we hear someone the next day go, oh, I saw someone smoking, like right outside your window, and I was like, oh, great.
Yes. Pretty crazy. I don't know. We're supposed to be on some type of show coming up. I can't see who it is, but I don't know what's happened with that, but hopefully it'll come out. And we got a lot of stuff going in this town. A lot of new stuff happening.
A lot of exciting stuff that we can't technically talk about yet.
But we can talk about the Fallout. We can talk about Fallout.
Good call. Yeah, what do you want to know about Fallout?
Well, I've had calls about it, and I said, man, I tell you, I only know so much. I'm the radio guy, I mean, come on. And I get what I get. But I've done some research on, and this November coming up, it's the biggie. I mean, we're talking, 4,000 people or more, if that? I mean.
Yeah, well, last year we had 6,420 individual attendees.
There you
go. So this year it could be more. You never know. So we're doing it November 14th, 15th, and 16th. And for those that don't know what we're talking about, there's a video game called Fallout New Vegas that actually takes place in Good Springs. The whole game starts there. And you wake up as a courier and you're left to die. And you wake up and you find your way to the Good Springs General Store. You go into the Prospector Saloon, which is based on the actual Pioneer Saloon. And then there's the Good Springs Elementary School, the Good Springs Cemetery. It's all in the video game. So we have people from all over the world that are fans of the game that come out to visit us just because it's, it's like kind of a mecca for the game, and I get it. I'm a huge Star Wars geek. And, I'm like, if I went to where the Mos Eisley Cantina scene was filmed in Tanzania or wherever it was done, I'd be excited about getting to see where it was actually done, where it took place. And these Fallout fans come from all over the world and really all year long, but we do an annual celebration where we purposely organize everybody getting out of their basement and coming and hanging out and geeking out with all of us at one time.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you, it's the best behaved crowd I've ever seen in an event.
Oh, yeah, thank you. They're amazing. I got to tell you, people that worry about the next generation of kids coming up and turning into adults, I'm like, you come to Fallout and you will feel better about the world.
Right.
These guys are polite. They listen to instructions. They're not out looking for best. They just want to geek out, have fun,
their dream in their land.
Body.
Right.
And it's amazing. And I mean, like, we'll have this 2 or 3 day event, and then 2 days later, you don't even know what happened because they're so good about coming back.
And I'll tell you, they pick up their yes. I couldn't believe it. They had teams out there picking up the town. Now that's who does that? That's great. Yes,
it's amazing. Nobody does that.
No, I've seen events after that. Oh, that's going to take a year to clean that up. You know what I'm saying? The trash will be behind it.
And they organize their own groups, their own cleanup groups. They get together. A lot of them are in cosplay groups with factions that are in the game. And so they'll get together with their group and they'll come out and take turns cleaning up or pick. And some people just show up like 3 days beforehand to just help set up. And they'll just be like, tell me what tables to move around, what I need to do. We're like, thank you. We appreciate that.
Big time.
And so it's an amazing group of people. They love Good Springs, and even though they're young, they love the history of Good Springs.
Yes.
So even like the Good Springs Historical Society, which you and I are both a part of, they're fascinated with all the old information, and they enjoy learning some of the older stories that have occurred over the Pioneers' 112-year history. And then I like telling some of the older folks, about the video game stuff because that's part of our history too. So it all works out, but it's amazing. It's a really fun event. Anybody that's interested in finding out more information, you can go to falloutfancelebration.com and check it out. And it's a great time.
Please do. Yes. I was in a rest home the other day seeing some friends, and there was a little area which had video games. And there was this older lady sitting there with her older husband, our friend. I'm never playing video games and really getting into it, man. I about died. I laughed. I mean, it was great. So hey, it's all out there. Come on, that's great. What the heck? But
yeah, it's fun. I'm old, so I come back, from the Atari 2600 days, back where, Pac-Man was a little dot.
I remember. Yeah, I remember all that.
But, the graphics are quite a bit better, but and I don't have as many time, as much time as I did as a kid to play video games, but I appreciate it, and like you said, the community is polite, mannerly, fantastic, and loyal, which I appreciate.
Well, years and years ago, this little town's a little town. Of course, things change. Things are getting bigger. Things are changing. That's just growth. And boy, years ago, you couldn't even think about doing something like that here because of certain people. They're no longer here. So things are happening. We're moving on.
Weren't you around when the developers were in town, kind of checking things out?
Yeah, I was. And they talked about the radio station, which was in a school bus, as was my station. And apparently they made it into a trailer in the video game, of course. But here was the radio station, and K-Ghost is K-Ghost. It's been around since 2000. Yeah, that long. So that's about 25 awesome. Years, and I started here, and now.
Whatever happened to the bus that you had?
Well, I sold it, and a guy something caught on fire. I don't know the engine, and had and it's up on the.
That would happen to me.
Yeah, it's up on the hill, but the guy repaired it, and then the guy moved on and left the bus there. So I thought about maybe getting it back. I don't know, for S and giggles, But
is it with Gordy's
hanging
out on the hill?
Yeah, the montage up there, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But folks, I tell you, this is a unique place, and I'm not kidding you.
Oh yeah, but, if you've never been to Good Springs, it's worth taking a trek. It's a beautiful town.
It is. It is.
People, personalities, the whole shebang.
Yeah, I was very blessed because I've always wanted a radio station in a small town. I'll tell you, we're part 15, of course, and we cover the whole town radio-wise. Of course, we're on the internet all over the world. with those different stations that I have, but with this K Ghost and also GoodSpringsRadio.com. But yeah, the dream came through too. I bought the land and I got the building and I made a dream come true. It's been a real love of mine and passion. It's like America.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
And you're amazing at it. And what's funny is a lot of people, I've told you this, but I haven't told a lot of other people this. But before we acquired the Pioneer Saloon, we had talked about like, oh, how cool it would be to have a little local radio station.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if we said K Ghost or something close to it.
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, oh man, somebody already beat us to it. And funny that, like, of course, great minds think alike.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to meet you and get to know you, I was like, oh yeah, now this all makes sense. But it was funny because it was disappointing to us at first that somebody already had our idea and implemented it successfully and everything. But it's neat that we get to hang out as friends and work together.
Well, you're a part of it now. You're not getting out of it, by the way. You're a part of it because
I don't want to get out. I love being part of K Ghost.
And I'll make this known to everybody right now. And when I leave this earth, you're going to carry this on and make K Ghost keep going. And because this is part of my legacy, leaving it behind. And I want you to do that for me, Steve. And I'm happy.
I would do anything for you, and that means a lot to me. But I'm counting on you outliving me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you don't know.
But thank you.
Anyway.
No, that's very sweet.
We
that
really
means
mean
a lot.
Really mean it. But hey, tell me more.
You would entrust us with your baby.
Of course. What more do you have? Now, you got some of the functions going on at the Pioneer Saloon. I'm telling you, folks, when I go down, I have a good time. You cannot not have a good time. It is just so much fun.
Thank you. Yeah, we're doing. We got some music festivals coming up next. We got a country music showcase coming up in August, and a Nevada Blues Festival coming out in September, and they're both free, and it's multiple days, all one venue, and there's no cover charge or tickets to buy, and there's, in both cases, there's like 14 bands playing. So if you like the country vibe, come out for that. If you like the blues vibe, come out for that. Or if you're just a music lover and you like all styles, come out for both. So yeah, if you want to go to pioneersaloonnv.com, you can check out our calendar and see when those are.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're starting to get. I didn't realize people like followed some of these festivals and stuff. So we're getting more RVs coming out that are interested, and just setting down and just enjoying the Good Springs environment for a few days and getting to listen to music and stuff.
You've got a place for that now, which is good, and it's just for like 3 nights and with the involved with the events, which is great, and I think that's fantastic, and it's well kept. Yeah.
It's really fun. Well, I know I'll see you there for
Hey, I got to report.
Events,
hey, K Ghost Radio's got to report things. I got to try to.
Oh, absolutely. And then we might have to partake in a beer together.
Well, I think so. That if you have any more of that old man whiskey, floating around, I have to sample that now.
Which, by the way, the Old Man Liver Busty Blonde Golden Ale beer is now going to be carried in some convenience stores in the Las Vegas area called Roma Stop, and
great.
Also at the Crab Corner, which is a seafood restaurant, and Rusty Spur, and the Viva Tequila.
Well,
so
great.
The beer is starting to spread out a little bit, which is
it's great
lovely.
beer. Great beer. I'm a beer lover. I've done a lot of beer fests and stuff. It's been a lot of fun for me, and I have a couple of people that are really into it. They make their own, and it's just a big process. But I'll just go buy a can, myself. Well, listen.
I agree. I'm more of a beer drinker than a beer maker. But our local craft house company and locally here in Henderson, Nevada, makes it for us, and they worked with us for a month to get the flavor we wanted, and now we're happy. Everyone loves it, and it's one of our top selling beers at the Pioneer.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, come out and visit him. Old Man Liver out there, folks. Come out and visit the Pioneer and just say hello.
Thanks for having me on, Larry. It was great talking to you guys.
I'm just so happy that you made the call and called me, guys. He's got to call me, man. I mean, I got to talk to Old Man Liver. It's the bomb, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks, brother.
All right.
You take care, and I'll check in with you soon.
You got it. Be well. Thanks, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
Bye-bye. Man, I'll tell you, Old Man Liver, he's a cool dude. You got to meet this guy. I mean, he's just down to earth, and he fits. You should have been here a long time ago, I'll tell you the truth. Yeah. Now, that was a good call. Open lines, everybody. I'm going to give that number out to you. And go ahead, Ross. You got it.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada. Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Pahrump lines are open at 775-990-8275. That's 775-990-8275. To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada. Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114.
Oh, my goodness. I want to thank Old Man Liberty for calling up tonight. Appreciate him. Lots of folks out there listening. We got Tacoma, Washington. We have, oh, my goodness, Montana. Bozeman up there. I know some people up there. I bet that's them. Great Falls, Helena. Murray, Idaho. Again, thank you so much. Memphis, Tennessee. I have Thunder Bay, Vancouver, of a place up there. We thank you for listening. Tacoma again. And we have Portland, Oregon. Oklahoma City. Hello down there. And all you folks listening to us all over the internet, we do appreciate you. We want to see a shout out to Chief Hall, Avondale Fire Department, 23, Station 23. All the EMS folks down there work very, very hard and to keep things safe in their area. We want to thank everyone down there and firefighters. Thank you so much. I'll be down to see you. Don't worry. I keep getting letters and saying, don't you worry. And Jonathan in Texas, we thank you so much. Randy in PA, of course. Neil and I just talked to Neil and Barbara. Neil out of London. They had called in, had a nice conversation with him. A great guy, I tell you for sure. You're listening to K-Ghost Radio. You're listening to Glenn Larry Show, and we're going to take a call. Who is this maybe? Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you from? Go ahead.
Ken from Punta Gorda, Florida.
Well, Ken, how are you doing? Thank you for calling back. I was off the air last week, of course. Now, what's new in your area?
Alligator Alcatraz.
I was hoping that was coming out. I was hoping to hear about that more. Well,
you got a lot of protesters down there. When you get these protests, you get people that don't work. They get the Social Security check and the Medicare and the Medicaid and the food stamps. Them's the people that demonstrate down there. But we ain't going to talk too much about that. They're going to do their thing down there. But let's talk about a white alligator.
Now, how many do you think there is out there in your area of those?
Alligators, white ones?
Yeah.
It's the only one known to exist here. Nobody's ever seen one. Do I accidentally come upon it? They say there's only 10 in existence.
Well, do you think?
I don't know that, but a white one, nobody's ever seen or heard of one. They've heard of them, but they're generally, in a zoo or something. But this one here is in the wild, and I just thought it was a plastic bag out there floating, a big long white plastic bag, and I said, well, hell, it's floating the wrong way. The wind's blowing one way, and this white thing's going the other way, and
my word.
We sat there and waited for him to come in, and when he came in, it was a white alligator.
Now, let's
they
talk.
call them albinos.
The albinos, yeah. My gosh, I'm in an albino.
But it was beautiful, and everybody wants to know where it is, and I will never tell anybody where that gator is.
They'll try to capture
because they come in here and
they'll make shoes
they
out of
kill
them.
them.
Yeah, they'll make shoes or bags or something out of them.
Well, I don't know what they did with the one they took out of my yard. We had him for over a year. One day the guy was back there mowing grass, and he saw it, and he called it in, and a couple of days later, they come and took it away.
Yeah, there goes your buddy. Did you name it? Did you ever name that alligator, by the way? Did you get
Well,
it?
I sent you a picture of that white alligator.
I got it. I got it. Yes, I did get it. I didn't get it up on the line here, but I'll probably have it next week easily.
And it was something I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't believe it either. I go, what is? And I tuned in. I focused in. I go, that's an alligator. Then you had, of course, you had made the little paragraph exactly what was going on. I'm going, wow, that's pretty something else. I'll tell you, man. Great job with that photography, by the way. Did your wife do that, or did you do that? Who took the picture? Your wife or you?
My wife.
Okay. She did a good job. Wasn't shaky. It was right
She
on.
does the picture taking.
She does pretty good on that, I'll tell you for sure. Yes. Now,
She gets the birds.
Let's talk.
I take care of the birds too. Like one day we were up feeding the birds, and my God, we must have had 150 parakeets we got a picture of all at one time.
Parakeets.
And that's something you just never see here.
Parakeets. Really?
Yep.
Of all colors, different. I love parakeets. They're cool.
These were green parakeets.
Oh, parakeets.
They
Okay.
weren't all different colors. These were green.
Green.
Beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, the birds are pretty, I'll tell you. Now, Ken, let's talk about Alcatraz. Let's talk about alligator Alcatraz. Right? What else is out in that swamp that people don't talk about?
Well, you got 4 different type of rattlesnakes out there.
Oh, great.
You got the alligators. You got 43 different species of mosquitoes. And you got other poisonous snakes. I just wouldn't want to go down there and try and get out of that place because you ain't gonna make it.
No.
Maybe you get out a little too far and they get in that quicksand, we won't even have to worry about burying them. It's a swamp. It's everything.
Yeah.
But that airport's been closed for 20 years. It was more or less like a tourist attraction, and they just got too dangerous there, and they shut it down, and now it's opened up.
Yeah, so now
it's open.
They got to keep the predators out, probably.
Well, tomorrow they're gonna start bringing the people in.
I didn't see many bathrooms down there. The caged up area didn't look very secure to me. I don't know.
It's not really secure like a prison, but where are you gonna go if you get out?
Well,
you only got one way to go. You got to go through the swamps. You ain't gonna make it through it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about riots and not controlled. Just gonna be wandering around. I'm in prison, but
I believe they're just gonna bring them in there and house them for a certain period of time and fly them back out. It's an airport.
Okay, there you go. So
Take
transition.
them to where they come from, or wherever
You're going back.
want to take them.
You're going back to Cuba, Mexico. You're going over here. Yeah, I get you. You're right. Yeah.
But you got to remember, we got 20 million of them.
Well, yeah, they're gonna have to build a bigger facility, maybe. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Well,
think.
I think they got them in a lot of different facilities you don't hear nothing about.
I know there's one in Colorado.
The alligator Alcatraz, that was something I heard about a month ago, but in the last 2 weeks, it's really you could see the stuff going down the highway. You know what they were doing.
Yes.
We know where that stuff was going. You see those big trailers. You know where they were going. And I think, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We got a good governor.
Yeah.
And we damn sure got a good president.
Okay.
I don't doubt that. But what are you going to do with all these people?
Well, I think
You're
it's
gonna
being
keep
thought.
on feeding them? You
couldn't afford it.
do something with them. They're rapists, murderers, child molesters, drug dealers. Yeah, you had 4 years open border. That's what you get. You get all the garbage that the other countries didn't want. We got them.
Yeah, we have sure got them, and now it's being taken care of apparently. So I'm gonna sit back and watch all this. I really am, and it's so much fun doing radio because you get to talk with people of all types of thoughts. Now, folks, I'm not taking any sides here. I listen and I obtain what's going on. Everybody's gonna understand that everybody has their own thoughts, and this is good. This is what America's all about, of course. We don't talk much about politics, no, but just on the edges there, this is fine, what we're doing now. It's no problem there, but hey, I'm just fascinated about this airport, and all around it, you've got a little prison, a little holding place, and they got nowhere to go. You're right, and they're going to want to go home because they're not going to be there, and
No.
you
They're not going to have much choice.
you could have a plastic, no, a little dinghy, you know, these inflatable dinghies, and have it sitting there with a sign saying "at own risk." You know what I'm saying? Leave at own risk, because you know inside those alligators are going to chop on that like you wouldn't believe.
No,
That's
you
terrible.
don't. I've been on some big boats, and we got close to them. They said, "Hey, watch, they're going to come and hit the boat."
Yeah.
And they come and run right into the boat.
Yep. Oh yeah, they're hungry. You know, when they see that,
But
they see that person's.
no, I heard about it a long time ago, and you know, fake news is so much out there that I didn't believe it. But oh no, it's here.
Yeah.
It's here in Florida.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Well, listen, I hope that you're doing well. I thank you for calling me there, Ken. We always appreciate your call. I was hoping that maybe Barbara would call tonight. We'll see if she's listening. Always let her hear what she thinks about
Barbara
that.
calls you, tell her Ken said hi. She should call now. She should hear us out there.
Yeah, and that's we'll find out. We'll find out.
But I'll keep you updated on this alligator Alcatraz.
Would you really? I appreciate you doing that. I really do.
It's about 66 miles from the house.
All right, you're the guy to know it. Do your detective work
it's not
there for
too
me.
far from here.
Yeah.
But I'm not going down there with all those people running around. There's all they do is spew the trash all over the roads and everything. I'll stay away.
See, they can't do an event we have an event up here called Fallout, and there's never any problem. And there's a lot more people that come to this than would come to that. And yeah, I gotta laugh at that. Yeah, as it's a little plug with Fallout people. They do a good job. Anyway, okay,
And they're
Ken.
down there, they're flying their flags. I don't know how many. I've seen some Mexican flags.
Yeah, whatever.
But
It's just pretty.
You have a good one, and
I
I'll keep
will.
you in touch on what's going on down there.
You say hello to your beautiful wife for me. I appreciate that. Would you too?
Okay.
All right. God bless, my friend.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. Ken from Florida. I've got a couple people down there in Florida listening. And I've got Randy in PA over there, my buddy, retired cop, police officer. Yeah, I've got a lot of law enforcement friends that I've worked with and have become friends with a lot of them, and firefighters, of course. Gosh, my several years here were a lot of fun. And then I had open heart surgery. They wouldn't let me do anything anymore. I couldn't even operate a radio. Imagine that. Let me just do the radios. Okay, I'm good with that. I could probably reapply, but this is my radio here. I've got enough to do now, trust me. But we're always looking for volunteers. Now, any town that you live in, rural area, wherever you may be, ask to volunteer. Get involved. They're going to give you training to get you through all that. Get involved in your town as much as you can. Volunteer. You get some spare time, do so. Please, it all helps out, especially when we have these disasters and problems. People need help, and the love of your heart to volunteer is fantastic. Taking calls, folks. We'll be back right after this.
Now, back with Glenn Larry on UFO Talk Radio, deep in the desert of Nevada.
Well, okay, Ross, we're going to give out our number. I hope we get some calls just to see what's going on. Come on.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Now, here again, Glenn Larry.
Yes, I'll tell you, the UFOs have been seen. They're popping up still a couple here and there, but nothing big. Now, I'm watching other shows, and I like to do that, other podcasts and radio shows about the UFOs and sightings. And some of them have been pretty good lately, but not what we want. We want to see more. We want these folks, whoever they are they just drones? Is it ours? Experimental? I don't know, but whatever. We want to see the big one, man. I want to see the big saucer over a major city. True news, not fake news. not these people that make news on the TikTok or on whatever media that is fake news. The background looks like news, now, the whole thing. And they're talking about this sighting. And the sighting never happened. It was never there. Of course, everybody's popping up and, then they're spreading the news and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was nothing. So, yeah, I want the real stuff. And I'm quite sure when you go to these reporting centers and read the documents and their reports and what they've seen, it's quite interesting. And I do a lot of reading on that, of course. And a lot of folks have called me and gave me their stories. And I try to get them on the air, but I don't know. I don't want to be on the radio. Well, you can be on the radio now. All you have to do is call that number. You don't have to give your name, but I'd love to hear your story. We all would love to hear your story. And that's what it's all about. Sometimes you get 2 or 3, 5, whatever. Sometimes you just can't get you on because it's after the hour. We have a new show, which is called Midnight Talk Radio. Yeah. If you go to www.midnighttalkradio.com, you'll see that webpage. And we'll be able to go live on that with a full screen. And we'll just be broadcasting on that. Just that one platform, Midnight Talk Radio. And it'll be at midnight. And it will be quite the show. It will be a lot like this, but more extensive of a show, about 2 hours, and with music and all sorts of stuff that we cannot do on Facebook or YouTube. But so we are going to do that for kind of a special thing, see how that runs for a while. It should be a lot of fun. A couple of major stations in Vegas might be picking them up. They are very interested in this. And so we're getting sponsors to be able to pay for their time. And yeah, all I can tell you, we're on K-Ghost Radio, FM 101.3, AM 1610, Community Hobby Radio, Part 15, in beautiful downtown Good Springs. Yeah, what a great town. And there's some great people here, too. Nothing much available for buying up here because it is such a unique place and there's nothing really for sale. I don't know how much there is for rent, but I know that we got a call coming. So we got going on here. We can't get. It's on the cell phone. It's on the cell phone. Yeah, it's on the cell phone, and we're on the air. So that person's gonna have to call back again. Well, they know that I'm on the air if they're watching. I mean, maybe forgot. But anyway, cute, beautiful town. But when the power went out, I said to myself, oh my goodness, it'd be cool. This little town had a major building, had backup power for everybody. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Think about that, everybody. Backup power. Well, of course, we talked to Old Man Liver, and they really do a good job down there. I enjoy going down that Pioneer Saloon, I really do. But here's a business that has food, and they have to make sure things doesn't spoil. So they're down there making things happen. And I did not open my freezer or my refrigerator. Freezer was fine this morning. Refrigerator, a little wet, gets the ice melted on top, and but nothing really was bad. I didn't have any milk in there. I just had eggs and whatever, and they were fine. And yeah. And by the way, I want to thank the locals here in beautiful downtown Good Springs, the kids and all the folks and all the people that work on this little project called the Food Share that helps so many people in this community. And for those folks that are involved with that, thank you so much from K-Ghost Radio. That's what you do for this town. And I know that the Old Man Liver and Pioneer over there, they do a lot for this town too, by the way. Yeah. Think about it. Anything the community get involved in is wonderful. Please do it in your little community where you live. Get involved. We'll be back again, like I say, right after this.
From deep in the desert of Nevada, broadcasting to the world, it's the Glenn Larry Show.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Every day, people are afraid to report violent crimes. In times like these, choosing to report a crime or helping the police can be a difficult decision. A no-snitching culture has sprung up in our communities, making it unpopular and sometimes even dangerous to report a crime. Do the right thing by calling 911 or your local crime tip line. If you're the victim of a crime, report it. If you know about a crime, report it. To learn more about how to do the right thing, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
He is back. Now, on UFO Talk Radio, Glenn Larry.
And I am back, everybody. Yes, so those PSAs out there for everybody. And take heed of what those guys were saying. My goodness, yeah. No bad gangs. No. We don't want that. I don't report anything that's really out of whack, man. You never know what's going on. No, I'm a little upset with some stuff I saw on TikTok and also Facebook. Some really fake. They had this guy that would take the callers that were from other countries. They were scammers and stuff, And I come to find out this guy who was scamming us. Well, not for scamming us, faking the whole thing. And he had quite a following. And it wasn't true. It was all, maybe some of it was, but the rest of it was whatever. So you can't believe what you see on TikTok or all these different, really do your research before you jump into the, like was saying, this one guy was saying, hey, the new thing coming out now, if you've had a driver's license or it got revoked or suspended, you can drive anyway. No. Yeah, and it'll be dismissed in court. Fake. Do your research. And all these guys, and in fact, I know an actor, by the way, that was involved, where they get pulled over, and the guy goes, I don't need to give my ID. Where you from? I don't want to identify and all this stuff, with a traffic stop. And trust me, folks, you don't want to go down that road. Yeah, you have rights, constitutional rights, but think what you're doing. Use your head. Don't believe a lot of stuff that you're seeing on these pages and these YouTube stuff. I mean, be very careful, because you may get yourself in a lot of trouble. A lot of things can escalate and go down the wrong road at a stop and all sorts of stuff. Identify yourself. Why not? What do you worry about? I was in law enforcement. I asked you for your driver's license, proof of insurance, registration, and I don't have to have small talk with you. That's fine. And I'm citing you for this, whatever. Do it in court. Take care of it in court, man. Not on the window side of the officer. I'm not going to be upset. Your heart's going. You're thinking all sorts of things, but you got to be careful when you identify, when you go through all the stuff. So use your head. Have the lights on. If it's nighttime, turn your light on so the guy can see what you're in the cab. Put your hands on the wheel and be respectful. Get it over with. Do your business and get down the road. Yes, that's all let's do it. Anyway, so we give a salute to all the law enforcement and fire, EMS, everybody out there. We thank you so very much. You do a great job. And I've seen a lot of fallen officers lately, a lot of stuff going down. And our prayers need to go out to everybody out there that needs prayer and needs help. And it's a big, big world out there, folks. There's some weird stuff going on. A lot of happening in the news, a lot of changes. The DD thing and everything else. Yeah. But don't get caught up in the BS. How's that? I didn't swear. BS. And yeah, so play well together, be well. And again, I want to thank you for listening to K-Ghost Radio and the Glenn Larry Show. Again, thank you so very much. Be well.